Hi one and all, I'm Sonia and this is a yoga video for back pain, more specifically for alleviating back pain. Back pain is obviously a very large category, and depending on what is the cause of your pain, there will be different postures that will be best for you. Unfortunately, we can't cover everything in this short video, but what we will be focusing on is if you have pain that has been caused by an injury, or maybe you picked up something too heavy and twisted the wrong way and then got that shooting pain that told you, ooh, shouldn't have done that. This is for you. Also, if you have any long-term mysterious back pain, specifically low back pain, that you haven't been able to find the cause of, this video is for you as well. If you have anything else like degenerative disc disease, bulging disc, herniated disc, scoliosis, etc., this isn't specifically for you, but there are definitely other videos out there that will be helpful for you. And regardless of the cause of your pain, as always, as with any yoga practice, your body is your ultimate guide. So if anything causes you pain, that's your signal to not do it and just gently come back into a rest posture, which I will show you in a bit. And what we'll be doing in this practice is all going to be gentle. It's going to be gentle stretching, strengthening, stabilizing, and movement to really help get your back to health. Your back to health. That's funny. To get you back to feeling good so you can go on with life pain-free. That is our goal. Right, so we're going to go ahead and start out on our backs in the constructive rest position. So go ahead and come down onto your mat with your knees bent. The soles of your feet are resting on the mat about hip distance apart. You can allow your knees to rest against each other if that feels good. And then if you need to, you can shift the feet a little wider apart. Make any adjustments you need to get to a place of supreme comfort. Place your hands on your belly if you like. You're completely supported here, so all your muscles can let go. Bring your attention to your breath, allowing oxygen to flow in effortlessly through your nose, filling the belly, and to flow out through the nose. This is an excellent pose for relaxing tension in the low back and around the spine. Very effective for relaxing the psoas muscles, which can play a role in back pain as well. Both the physical posture and the breath are involved in quieting the nervous system and creating the relaxation response. So keep those deep, even breaths going. Another part of the body to consider when dealing with back pain is fascia. Fascia is this incredible network of connective tissue that runs through our entire bodies, including through and around every muscle. There happens to be a very dense concentration of fascia located in the area of the lower back, known as the thoracolumbar fascia. Now, the fascia itself contains a large number of pain receptors, and it wraps around all of our nerves, so it's pretty easy to see how it could play a role in back pain. Although fascia is one system, it's made up of many different layers which need to slide against each other to allow us to move. And to allow unrestricted, pain-free movement, fascia needs to be slippery. And to be slippery, it needs to stay hydrated. And to stay hydrated, it requires two main things: water and movement. Now, the movement we'll be addressing in this practice, and the water is up to you. So be sure to drink plenty of water on a daily basis if you don't already. So now we'll begin to move. Bring your right knee towards your chest, interlacing your fingers around the back of your knee. Draw the knee closer to your upper body and slide your left leg out straight. And see how that feels. If you can handle a little more, gently lift your head, bringing your forehead towards your knee, creating a gentle, very gentle stretch for the back here and a little bit of core engagement. And you can gently lower your head back down to the ground. And everything that we'll do here, we'll do in stages, so you can always go back to the previous stage if it doesn't feel good. So now we'll go to do the same thing on the other side. So go ahead and bring your left knee towards your chest and slide your right leg out straight. And then lift your forehead towards your knee. Just a moment of engagement here. And then resting your head back down. Now hug both knees and lift your forehead towards your knees. Release your head back down to the mat and let your feet come down to the mat. Now, if you have a strap near you or a belt or a scarf, go ahead and grab that. Keep your left foot on the mat with your knee bent and place the strap around the back of your right foot. And holding onto the strap, gently straighten your right leg at about 45 degrees. And then gently draw the toes back. So if you can come into 90 degrees straight, that's where you are. If you can't come to 90 degrees, that's okay. You just want to go as far as you can. And you want to be feeling a stretch in the back of your right leg, particularly in your hamstring. Once you get to your limit, just go ahead and hold there and breathe. Come back to that steady, even breath. If you have tight hamstrings and low back pain, this is one of the best postures you can do for your back. It's targeting the hamstring muscle, which is often tight, and when it's too tight, it can create too much pull and strain on the pelvis and low back and kind of knock everything out of whack. So this is a great posture because we're stretching the hamstring muscle, but keeping the back and the spine completely supported and stable. Now this one you can do on your own for longer. Maybe start with 1 or 2 minutes and then walk your way up to 5 or 7 if you like. But we won't stay here that long in this practice. Go ahead and remove the strap. Bend your right knee, grab onto your right big toe, and we'll come into a modified half happy baby. So keeping your left knee bends, unless you want more. If you want more, you can go ahead and straighten that left leg and pull your foot down towards you as you're drawing your right knee towards the floor on the right side of your body. And just breathe here. Just being okay with wherever you're at today. And then now we'll come into a figure 4. So you can bring your right foot and let it rest on top of your left knee. And again, we'll take stages with this one. So maybe it feels good here, like enough of a stretch, and you can use your right hand to press your right knee away from you to get a little deeper sensation. If you'd like a little more, then bring your right hand through this triangle in the middle of your leg and bring your left hand around, clasp your hands behind your left thigh, and draw the left knee towards you. If you can go farther, then place those interlaced hands behind your left shin. Once again, just pulling the legs towards you till you find your limit. Notice how we're not moving fast here, but the fascia also loves this kind of slow movement of placing the body in different positions and holding, creating a stretch to release tightness. We're sending lots of nourishment into the low back right now. As you observe the sensation of this posture, see if you can keep about 25% of your attention on your breath so that you stay aware of your steady, relaxed breath. And now releasing the hands, uncrossing the legs, straighten out your right leg. That should feel really good. Take a moment to notice the sensation in your right hip. Any sensation of energy flowing through here. We'll do the same on the other side. So now we'll bend the right knee, keeping the right foot on the floor. Take your strap again and place it around the back of your left foot. Straighten out the left leg. And gently draw that foot backwards till you're as close to 90 degrees or even maybe beyond 90 degrees as you can, until you're feeling that nice stretch to the back of the thigh, back of the calf, maybe the back of the foot, maybe the glutes. We mentioned fascia, and one factor of fascia is that it's all connected. It's all one network. So it's, different areas of fascia have different names, like thoracolumbar fascia, but that's just because it's located in that area. It doesn't mean that it's actually a separate entity. So it is conceivable that the back pain you're experiencing can be related to something going on with the fascia in the back of your leg or even in the back of your foot. There are also different lines of pull, different lines that tension is transmitted through in the body that are known as the myofascial meridians. And we're working on one of these lines right now, which is the superficial back line. It runs through the back of your body from the top of your head down to your feet. And specifically, that passes through the erector spinae muscles on either side of your spine, the sacrotuberous ligament on both sides of your sacrum, your hamstrings, your calf muscles, and the plantar fascia on the bottoms of your feet. Go ahead and gently lower the foot down, set the strap off to the side, and grab onto your left big toe. Come into our half happy baby here. Gently draw that left knee down towards the floor. And if you want more, you can straighten out your right leg. Breathe, observe. Just practicing awareness of the sensations in your body. And now we'll come into our figure 4 on this side. So bringing the left foot, placing it on top of the right knee. And again, find your version here. No pressure to yourself, just going to wherever feels right to you. So that's either just staying here, using your hand to press the left foot away, or you're interlacing the fingers either around the back of the right thigh or the right shin. And pulling the legs towards you. And notice if this feels any different on this side than it did on the other side. And then go ahead and straighten out your leg, your left leg, that is. Just giving your hip flexors a chance to relax. We've compressed them, now we're releasing them, allowing energy, blood, oxygen to flow more easily. And next we'll come into a gentle version of a bridge pose. We're going to start out with our arms overhead. This will prevent us from going into too much of a back bend. Your feet are firmly planted on the mat. To come up, tilt your pelvis upward, lifting your tailbone off the mat, and then your lumbar and thoracic spine follow as your hips rise up into a bridge. Exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, come back down. Now, if that felt like too much or if one time felt like enough, and if you have a block or a couple of fat books, you can place those underneath your sacrum to turn this into a supported bridge. And if you're like, I don't need to do that now, but that looks really good, you can also add this on at the end of the practice. But if you're up for more, we'll stay in the active version. Again, inhaling, lifting up. And exhale, hips slowly lowering down. And we'll just do this one more time. Inhale, lifting up. Really good for engaging all the lower back muscles around the spine. And exhale, lowering down. And now bring your arms back down along your side and supporting yourself with your hands, gently make your way up onto your hands and knees into a tabletop position. In tabletop, your hands are under your shoulders. Your knees are spread hip distance apart. They're directly under your hips. And take a look at your hands. Your fingers are spread wide, so lots of space between each finger. Now we're going to come into a modified version of bird dogs. Before we begin, take a moment to engage the muscles in your core. And how do you engage them? Just by taking your awareness to them, kind of turning them on, light contraction. And from there, slide your right foot back, extending your right leg back behind you. Toes are on the ground. And inhale, lift the toes about 6 to 8 inches off the floor. Not too high, we don't want the back to work too hard. You can either stay as you are or take the option to extend your left arm, lifting your hand 6 to 8 inches off the ground. Stabilize and breathe. And exhale, place your knee and hand back to the mat. Slide the left foot back. Inhale, lift 6 to 8 inches. And your option to lift the right hand. So feel free to keep just the option of the back leg. And we'll do 2 more reps on each side. So lifting the right leg, left arm, holding here, keeping that core engagement, and lowering hand and knee. Inhale, left leg, right arm, and exhale, down. One more on the other side. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Breathing. And exhale, down. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Stay engaged. And exhale, set them back down. And now we'll just lower your forehead into a quick rest, quick child's pose. Keep your arms extended, or if you like, you can bring your hands back by your feet. Come up to sitting, tuck your toes, and come into a squat. If you have tight hips and a squat feels like the worst pose in the world for you, you can take modifications. You can stay lifted on your tiptoes, or you can place a support under your heels if you have something around you. You can roll up part of the yoga mat if you like. And you can stay leaning forward, keep your hands on the floor. Or if this is painful, you can also go back to child's pose or your constructive rest position that we started with. If you are able to come fairly comfortably into your squat, you can bring your palms together in front of your heart. Allow your elbows to press, your legs open wider, and breathe. This is a really fantastic pose in many ways, great for opening the hips, as well as strengthening the legs and ankles. And that hip opening can be really helpful for the back. It's also a nice stretch for the low back. And from here, let yourself lower back into sitting. Come into a comfortable cross-legged position. Now, if your back is rounding here, you definitely want to grab something to sit on, whether that's a block or a bolster or a pillow or blanket or anything that's a height that can, get your hips lifted up higher, that will allow your spine to come into a neutral position. From this cross-legged position, I just want to mention that twisting, when you have back pain, you want to be careful with twisting, but when done the right way, twisting can be really great for the back. It can engage and encourage blood flow and oxygen and nutrients to the area that's injured to encourage faster healing. And it can also create movement and mobility here, which is the fascia will appreciate. Okay, so the thing that you want to do before any twisting is just to engage the muscles of the lower core. So that's going to be particularly like transverse abdominis here, the muscles of the low back, as well as the glutes a little bit. So how do you engage those? Again, it's just that gentle turning on, light engagement. No strong sucking in that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, just like a very light turning on. In yogic terms, this is very much overlapping with the action of Uddiyana Bandha, of turning on that upward flying lock. From here, once you've got all those muscles engaged, you can turn slowly. And as you're twisting from the base of the spine, right? So it's not your shoulders that are leading, it's really the action of the lower torso that's guiding this pose. Bring your left hand outside your right thigh. You rest your right hand on the floor behind you and look to the side. And this is also a stretch that you can do when seated in a chair. So if you're at work, maybe just take this from time to time when you realize that you've been seated for a long period of time. And then we'll exhale, come to face forward. If you're sitting cross-legged, switch your legs, place your other leg on top. Engage the lower core and gently twist to the left, placing the right hand outside your left thigh and left hand on the floor behind you. Breathe. Steady, even breath. And now come to face forward. So this concludes our practice for today. I hope this was helpful for you and your back. If it was, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I wish you a wonderful, pain-free rest of the day.